Have you ever wondered how much money you would need to never have to work again? Well, if you actually do the math, the number might surprise you. Hey, I'm Andreas, I've been investing for over 10 years, and in today's video, let's go over the budget for how much money would you need to retire. We're gonna look at some basic bare bone budgeting figures. I will use some examples, talk a bit about the different posts in the spreadsheet, and then we will go over the amount of money needed and why that specific amount is the case, because it all ties back to the Monte Carlo simulation, which I will explain very simply. All right, let's get right into it. So in terms of calculating how much money you need, it all depends on your level of consumption. So let's break down some basic costs that we might have every month. I've used myself as an example here. I pay about €1,000 every month in rent. I can do this in Dublin because I have a flatmate, so that's one way to make rent cheaper. Energy and water, this can be tracked easily. You have an application in your phone, you have the bill coming every month. In my case, energy and water is about €45 each month. Gym membership, some might do it, some don't. You can of course run outside easily, but then again, you're gonna have higher energy and water costs if you shower at home and do all of that stuff. I do it at the gym, and I like to focus on the body, so gym is bare bones for me. Phone, easy phone abonnemang, as we say in Swedish, phone plan, just €15 straight up. Some might need it, some don't. Transport, €10. Bought the electric bike, saves a lot of money, very smart decision in my opinion. So I have €10 every month there to cover repair costs, as I might have to change tires in the future, can charge it at work, and thus no electricity cost there right now. Compare that to, for example, taking public transport in Dublin. It would be €2 to work, €2 home, that's €4, 5 days a week, that's 20. So in a month that would be €80 if you're doing public transport and all you're doing is commuting back and forth. You could of course have a car. It would be a lot more expensive in that case, calculating, I mentioned here, €10 in repair cost for new tires and this and that. Imagine for a car then a new motor, it could be anything. It could be very, very expensive. But an e-bike in this case puts me at about €10 every month in transport cost. Food, I've put 400, that's a lot of steaks, cooking at home, quite a nice amount. And then cigars I have as bare bones as well. This would give me 4 cigars every month, 4 decent ones, so that's a bare bone budget of €80 a month. And then of course you can add any type of stupid stuff that you might want to do. In your case, you might not think it's stupid, it might be essential, but I put it there because, the more we add, the more money you're going to need. This sums up nicely to about 1,500 every month. In 12 months, in a full year here, that's going to be €19,000. And now it comes to the magic here, the hook, the promise of the video. How much money would you actually need? Well, to get to this number, we can take a look at the formula I used here. I just divide this yearly amount of money needed by 0.04, and then I get this 475k. And this ties back to the 4% rule, so 0.04, that's 4%, in the decimal form. And this ties back to the Monte Carlo simulation. The Monte Carlo simulation is a simulation of stock market performance thousands of times, different scenarios, how your assets would perform. And then given historical track records, the amount of money you put in, then it gives a scenario for if you would ever run out of money on that amount. And with the 4% rule, there's a 95% chance that you would never run out of money if you lived within those means. So that's where the 4% rule comes from, this statistical simulation. I hope it makes a lot of sense. And in those 5% scenarios where you actually run out of money, that's if you retire and then the stock market just plummets right after you retire. So that's the 5% that causes you to actually run out of money. This can, of course, be mitigated by going back to work and not taking anything off the investments, just delaying retirement. So there's a lot of practical things we can do to mitigate that. But technically, with 95% certainty, 475,000 euros invested in the stock market with an average return of 7% a year would be the amount of money needed to never have to work again with this basic bare bone budget that I just went over in the start of the video here. So I highly encourage you to do this exercise for yourself, to put down your expenses, track them for a little bit, write them down, and then you can calculate your own number. And make sure that it's the future lifestyle that you desire. So don't just put down the bare bones, put down the stupid stuff as well. So you can see, all right, what if I love to fly a helicopter? How much would I need? And then you can work towards that goal. And you might realize that it's a lot easier than you think to never work again and live the type of lifestyle that you desire. All right, that's been it for this video. And as always, I hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.